The majority in Parliament a while ago forced adjournment of the House when they blocked Member of Parliament for Akwatia and Kumi from making a statement arguing that a convicted person with a bench warrant for his arrest should not be permitted to speak. Mr. Kumi defied an injunction from being sworn in as a Member of Parliament and took the oath of office on January 7, 2025. The NDC maintains that since he's been found guilty of contempt of court yesterday and has a bench warrant issued on him, he should not be allowed to address Parliament. Listen to Majority Leader Mahama Ayariga.
And make statement so that this House will be telling the court that it doesn't matter what you do. The Speaker doesn't uphold the dignity and honor of this House. He doesn't uphold the dignity and honor of this House. That he has been convicted by the court, and indeed, the basis of his conviction is a conduct in this chamber. The basis of his conviction is a conduct in this chamber. When he was cautioned that if he insisted and had himself sworn in as a Member of Parliament in the face of a restraining order by a court, if the court came after him, he would be accountable alone, who will not be part of it. This was made very clear in this chamber. And he took it upon himself to take the risk. And then he was ready to take responsibility for his conduct. So Speaker, it's time for him to go and account for his conduct. But to come and stand in this chamber and we will all participate in sitting here and listening to him make a statement as if the courts are nothing. So Speaker, I'm not ready to be part of it. So I have strong objections to him reading a statement in this chamber because the court have convicted him. He should go and appeal against the conviction, have it set aside, and come back. And we have a duty as a House to uphold the dignity, the integrity, and the respect of our courts and the rule of law. He is aware. Your leader on several occasions told the Speaker that even if he was not said, once he became aware of a decision of the court, the Speaker must act on the basis of becoming aware. So it's not a question of whether he has been fair. He is aware that the court have convicted him. He is aware that the court have convicted him. And he wants to come and stand in this chamber and make a statement. I caution. I said, don't do that. Don't make a statement. So we have strong objections.
MP for Boku Central, Majority Leader Mahama Ayariga, but the Minority Leader Afenyo Markin didn't seem to agree. He questioned the majority stance, arguing that the Akwatia MP has not officially been served the court decision.
Very much aware of the matters in issue. I first sought an ex parte relief. I first applied to the court, invoked the jurisdiction of the court through an ex parte application, and made all the matters known to the court, and the court ruled in my favor. That order of the court staying the decision of the Speaker, which stay of execution allowed the majority to stay in its place, was forcefully challenged with all the energy from the majority leader, who was the de facto legal advisor to the front bench. Mr. Speaker, his side to be hoodwinked into any valley of confusion would amount to a general confusion in this House, because the majority leader knows that he was only doing politics and not doing law. He knows that what he did was politics and not law. Mr. Speaker, in this House, how can a Member of Parliament, who in the performance of his parliamentary duties has not been served with the court process? Mr. Speaker, let them sit quietly and listen. Let me finish my submission. Mr. Speaker, when they talk, they don't want anybody also to have the opportunity. It was started by you. I am responding to your argument. Right? We cannot respond to you.
I'm not going to let me listen to you. Okay.
Because you have to finish, you have to listen to me. Okay. You to the point of the Parlia. When Afenyo Markin speaks, many of you will get when Afenyo Markin, many points of order. Right. Many points of order. You cannot
if you wouldn't allow me, I will go ahead, suspend the house and
so calm didn't prevail, and the second deputy speaker, Andrew Esiama, went ahead to adjourn sitting for today. The minority leader, Alexander Afenyo Markin, obviously was not happy with the development, so he spoke to the parliamentary press call moments after.
The mischief he wanted to create was to the effect that no, Mr. Kumi should not be allowed to make a statement. When he realized that there were superior arguments against him, the NDC now resorted to disruption, confusion, and their usual noise making. The practice is that when you make your argument, you sit quietly and allow your colleague opposite to also make his argument. But what did we see? The majority chief whip interrupted me, and when they realized again that their arguments before the house, those arguments were being defeated, the majority leader himself now got up and shouted, Mr. Speaker, again. We saw what happened. This is a kind of democracy the NDC wants to practice in Parliament. Today, the NDC is saying that members of Parliament should respect the court. These were the people who were insulting, using unprintable words, just because they disagree with the Supreme Court ruling in October 2024. We are decent Democrats. Is the reason why we have resorted to lawful processes in addressing our dissatisfaction with the conduct of the Akwatia High Court judge. We have not used unprintable words against this person, and we will not. But let me give you some information. I believe earlier in the week, my colleague Jerry Ahmed led a press conference and actually shared with you a chronology of events and a chronology of processes filed at the Supreme Court, as well as the very High Court. I would rely on saying, without wasting your time, but just to briefly put it, that one, there was an application pending before the court, which application sought to stay proceedings. Any fair judge will want to determine that stay of proceedings application before going ahead to hear the substantive matter. The court ignored the stay of proceedings. On the day in question, Mr. Kumi had written to the court for permission. The court again ignored. As we speak, no court process has been served on Mr. Kumi. Neither has any process been served on the Speaker of Parliament, nor the clerk to Parliament. I am the leader of our side. I haven't been invited into a meeting where I have been told that the process has been filed, has been served. So I don't know what the NDC is up to. Again, upon hearing of the decision of the court, Mr. Kumi calls his lawyers to file an appeal and followed it up with a stay of execution of the orders of the court. It is tried knowledge that once a stay of execution process has been filed, the court would have to determine it. So what are we talking about here? Meanwhile, there is another process before the Supreme Court, praying the court to make an order of prohibition and certiorari to quash the earlier orders of the courts. Isn't it also tried that per the laws of Ghana, when an election result is declared, the outcome of an election is declared, after the declaration, the next stage is the gazette. It is only upon gazetting that an aggrieved party may have to file a process in court, petitioning the court and challenging the outcome of the election. And this is supposed to be done within 21 days. The so-called application, which was filed by the opponent of Mr. Neskumi, was that it had taken judicial notice of a press conference of the EC to the effect that the results have been gazetted, so it is going ahead to treat it as an election petition. Now, if you treat it as an election petition, you have to make a preliminary determination, which is the security for costs. All these things have not been done. We wonder why the judge will go on the path he has chosen to go. But as law-abiding citizens, we will continue to use the judicial processes for justice. As for the NDC, if they think that today they are using Neskumi to do politics, today is Friday, we are reminding them that next week Thursday, the president will be coming to the chamber. We are reminding them, they've forgotten that they are in government. We are reminding the NDC. So, if today they are the avant-garde of the rule of law, we've heard, good. On Thursday, there are other matters of social justice in the country that perhaps they have overlooked. So if they are showing us a part of social justice and the rule of law, we have heard them. From Tuesday, we, the minority, God willing, will also begin the process of bringing to the fore all the issues that the government must undertake to bring social justice in our country. And we will not limit it to Tuesday. We'll go on Wednesday, go on Thursday, Friday, and we'll continue until all the issues of social justice are addressed. So we thank them for forcing an adjournment today. We thank the NDC majority caucus. We thank them. These are useful lessons. Thank you very much.
So that's the minority leader, Osahini Alexander Kwame Afenyo Markin.